If you're not investing in 2026, then you're falling behind. A lot of people will say, I'll invest when things calm down. Or they say, when we get out of debt, we'll start investing. Then they actually get out of debt and they don't start investing. So if you're not investing in 2026, you're going to be behind. And I'm going to tell you some reasons why you're going to be behind. And hopefully by hearing this, it will help jumpstart your financial journey when it comes to investing into your future. So first, if you're waiting to invest, you're losing out on 3 different things. That's time, compounding, and buying power. The longer you wait to start investing, the less time that your money has to grow. So if someone started investing when they were in their 20s compared to someone that started when they were in their 30s or 40s, they could possibly have more money in their account. But the younger you are, the more your money that you're investing currently is worth. So I started investing at about 24 years old, and I'm going to continue to invest because my dollars are so valuable right now. The earlier you invest, the more your money has to compound. And if I start investing at 25, I'm going to be investing for 25 more years. My money has 25 years to compound. Someone else wants to retire at 50 as well, but they start investing at 35. They only have 15 years of compound interest working in their favor. So the earlier you start investing, the better. And also when it comes to buying power, inflation is on the rise every single year. And we'll talk about inflation in our next little section here, but inflation is on the rise every single year. And maybe a 2, 3, maybe even a 4% rate. And if you're not investing your money, if you're just saving your money, that's better than just spending all your money. But if you're just saving your money into an account that gives you a 0.001 rate of return on your money, you're losing. You're playing a losing game. So you want to make sure that you're investing your money into the markets. And we can kind of talk about where you should be investing your money, how you should be investing your money. We can get into that maybe in this video, but I do have videos where I talk about where you should invest your money, where I invest my money, and it's worked out for me in the long run. So inflation is working against you. Inflation is basically the rise of costs every single year. Why you hear people say, back in my day, we paid 25 cents for bread. It was 50 cents a gallon. Now it is not that, because inflation has increased. Inflation increases almost every year. So now we're paying $1.30 for bread or $3 for bread. Now we're paying $4 or $5 for gas, but we're also making more money. But a lot of times your income doesn't keep up with inflation, and that's why we invest our money. We can get a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12% return on our money. Like the last few years, we got like a 20% return on our money if you invested into the S&P 500. And by not investing, the inflation is eating all that money up that's not invested at a 3 or 2% rate of return. So by not investing, you're working harder for the same lifestyle because your money is not growing at the rate of inflation. So this is why investing is super important, so you can beat inflation. The main way that you can invest is by investing into the stock market. Invest into the S&P 500, collection of the top 500 companies in the US. I personally don't think you can go wrong by investing in the S&P 500. It's one of the best things that I've done. I know some people maybe want to put money in more risky assets. Me personally, I have majority of my money invested into the S&P 500. And again, compounding does not care about your excuses. Compounding rewards early consistency, not perfect timing. Stop waiting to jump into the market at a perfect time. Stop waiting for that dip. Stop waiting for that rise. Just jump in and stay consistent, because a lot of times the market might have 5 great days in a year, and that's going to really determine your rate of return. So you want to stay in the market because you really cannot time when the market's going to take off. You don't know when the market's going to dip. But if you actually start investing early, and you have a long time to invest, then it doesn't matter if the market dips. It doesn't matter if the market rises, because you're consistently investing every month and your money is going to ultimately go up. And that's really why the stock market is here. It is here to make money. And also, if you want to retire, if you have plans on retiring and not working your entire life, then investing is super important, because when you leave your job, you're going to have some kind of income coming in, whether that's from your pension, whether that's from retirement. You're going to have some kind of income coming in. So you have to invest your money so that you can pull this income from your retirement. Whether you pull 4% of your retirement or whatever you decide to do, you have to have some kind of money set aside so that you can actually retire. And that's something that we do. We invest every single month so that when we retire at 49 or 50 years old, we can pull from this money that we've been storing on the sideline for 20 plus years and use it to fund our lifestyle. And guess what? That money is hopefully, more than likely, beating inflation. So that money is beating inflation because it's growing at a 7 to 10% rate of return, maybe even a 12% rate of return. So we're beating inflation by investing our money. And then when we get to this age, we're going to pull this money and we're going to use it for whatever we need to use it for, whether that's going on trips, whether that's just living expenses. This is why investing is so important. If you don't invest, you will not have retirement. And there's a lot of people out here that do not have retirement. You see a lot of older people that are just living on Social Security. Maybe they're living a good life, maybe they're not, I'm not sure. But for me personally, I don't think that we can just live off $50, $100 a month or even $2,000 a month. We have to have something in investments so that we can live a good, fruitful life. And you also don't need more money. A lot of people think that they need more money to invest. I need to be making more money. I need to be able to put more money into my investments. But this is why investing early and investing consistently is super important. You need to lower your expenses a lot of the times. If you have a little bit extra money left over, maybe you're not investing that. Maybe you're putting that into an emergency fund. Once your emergency funds build up, then you can start investing. You don't even need a perfect budget. You want to start investing as soon as possible. Of course, there's some things you want to do before you start investing, like paying off high interest credit card debt. We want to make sure we're out of these. But if we don't have high interest credit card debt, if we have maybe a 3-month emergency fund, then let's start investing our money, maybe even before a 3-month emergency fund. Let's get our employer match at least. Let's get our money working in the market, because the market, like I said, is growing at 7, 8, 9, 10% rate of return. By not investing your money, it's negative because inflation is eating that money every single year. In reality, it's all about consistency, automating your investments. Hopefully, a lot of people that watch this channel are at this stage where it's time to invest. In 2026, it is your time to invest. So we're going to consistently invest our money and make sure it's automated. Have automated investments, have money pulled automated from your debit account or your savings account and go straight to your Fidelity or your Vanguard, and make sure that money is automatically invested into whatever fund you believe in. Don't go for these risky funds. Like I said, the S&P 500, VOO, FXAIX, those are good funds you can put them in, and they have a historic rate of return between 7 and 10%. I'm telling you guys, momentum is the best way to start investing. What happened with me? When I started to invest, when I saw my accounts begin to grow, I just found ways to make more money, whether that's overtime or a second job. And the momentum, I just kept wanting to invest money every single month and see this account grow. And then I started having dreams about retirement. Even though I'm only 28 years old, about to be 29 soon, I am thinking about retirement. Even though that's 20 years away, I'm still thinking about it. So you guys should be thinking about it as well, because before you know it, you're going to be 50 years old. You better have some money in your accounts to live your life. So in 2026, you're either investing or you're falling behind. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the one that's investing? Do you want to change your family tree and maybe be the first one to ever invest into the stock market with intention? I'm not just saying, you just throw money in a 401k, whatever fund it's in. But I'm talking about intentionally investing for your future, knowing your numbers, knowing how much you need to invest. This could be you. Or are you going to be the person that's going to be falling behind 2026? Are you going to be the person that's crumbling to the rise of inflation? Are you going to be complaining about inflation, complaining that there's nothing you can do when it comes to inflation? When I'm telling you right now, the best thing you could do is to invest. If you can't invest, how can you do that? Get a second job. If you literally have no more money left over, you have no BS spending on your plate, which a lot of people do, or you have no entertainment and you really just have no money left over to invest for your future, then get a second job. That would be my recommendation to you, because investing is too important for you to not do it. So if you have to sacrifice a few years or maybe the rest of your years because you have to have 2 jobs, then you got to do what you got to do. But I don't plan on working until I'm 70 or 75 years old. I can't. I just really don't plan on working, so that's why investing is so important to me. So start small, make sure your contributions are automatic, and just start. Whether that's $50, $100 a month, just start investing something. Matter of fact, let me pull up my compound calculator, which I love this calculator. I need to create my own calculator because I use this compound calculator way too much. Say you just invested $50 something for 30 years. $50 for 30 years, you're not going to have a lot of money in your account. You'll have about $74,000. Say you invested $500 a month. That's someone's car payment. You're going to have $745,000 if you invested $500 a month for 30 years. You invested $1,000 a month for 30 years at an 8% rate of return. You have almost $1.5 million just by investing for 30 years. So this is why starting young is the best way to go. If you're a young person watching this video, maybe you're 15, 17, 18, be smart. Know what you want to go to school for. If you want to go to school, go to the military. Don't go into all the student loan debt. Don't be like me. I didn't even care what I was going into debt for. I didn't even care how much debt I had. I don't have a lot right now. I have about $22,000 left, which is really good. I started with about maybe 40, which is about average of what people are graduating college with. Apply for scholarships. And if you do get a student loan, then you want to make sure that it's in an area or a space where you make a lot of money, maybe nursing. You know, don't go out here getting a student loan for art. Don't go out here getting a student loan for communications and things like that. A lot of these jobs, you don't even need a degree anymore. So just be smart. Those are one of the main things that can hinder someone from building wealth very young because they have student loans. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.